It was just before midnight when an Austin police officer on patrol noticed smoke coming from the I Can't Believe It's yogurt shop on West Anderson Lane. Minutes later, firefighters were on the scene and made a gruesome discovery.
The fire department came here and had to force their way in through the front door. As they moved toward the back, the fire was centered in the back of the store. They found the bodies back there.
17-year-old Eliza Thomas and 17-year-old Jennifer Harbison worked at the store. Her sister, 15-year-old Sarah Harbison, and 13-year-old Amy Ayers were visiting. Police say all four were found huddled near a back door at the shop. They were each shot in the head and severely burned in the fire, which was apparently set by the same person or persons who committed the murders. Police say it looks like it happened after closing time at 11. And they say while it looks like robbery is the motive, the crime still makes no sense.
It's in the usual stuff we run into: family violence, drug deal gone bad. This is four girls here. They're dead or now dead. For what reason? I mean, surely they couldn't have that much money in there. Price of life seems to be getting cheaper and cheaper these days. You have a person out there who wasn't there, who knows he's standing there every day looking at a murderer who, up to this point, is getting away with it. And that's some fairly heavy psychological luggage to carry around here. This preliminary profile is designed to get that type of person out to call us.
The caskets were delivered one by one, a sombering sight for the nearly 2,000 people who turned out to mourn. 4 caskets, 4 lives, snuffed out too soon.
I feel shock, I feel anger, I feel rage. I feel frustration, I feel pain, I feel helplessness, and I feel loss. We live between the bookends of time, and their short chapters have begun, and they have ended too soon. Let perpetual light shine upon them. Rest in peace. Amen.
Stay out of the streets, stay on the sidewalk.
Several months later, efforts continued to keep the case alive, despite the lack of clues, despite the lack of suspects.
If you read about it, if you heard about it, if you were touched by it, if you were affected by it, you became a victim.
Give us the information that will lead to the arrest and conviction of the person that murdered these girls, and we will give you $100,000 for that information.
The 167th Judicial District Court of Travis County saw fit to approve and sign 4 personal recognizance bond releasing Mike Scott on his own recognizance. I think the fact that Judge Lynch made that decision speaks volumes in terms of the strength of the defense for Mike Scott and his innocence. Mike Scott has spent some 3,541 days incarcerated, much of which was spent in administrative segregation by himself. I think we feel confident that we can proceed into the future towards trial of this case, the total and complete vindication of Michael James Scott.
I'd like to thank God and my families and my attorney for this opportunity. Thank you.
For about the first 10 years, you could never find me on December 6th. It was was a day to hide. Even if it had been solved, I'd feel bad on the anniversary, okay? Because the focus here isn't me. The focus is the survivors, the families and friends of, those 4 young ladies. That's the focus.
Fire department came here and had to force their way in through the front door. As they moved toward the back, the fire was centered in the back of the store. They found the bodies back there.
We knew that this was going to attract a lot of attention. There were a lot of people around the crime scene, and it was important to us to work with the families as much as they could and let them know, try to build their confidence in us. And part of that was, letting them on the inside. Eventually, they had access to the task force. They could come and go as they pleased. We wanted them to know what we were doing, that we were doing absolutely everything we could. It wasn't just to trust us,
I feel shock. I feel anger. I feel rage. I feel frustration. I feel pain. I feel helplessness. And I feel loss.
There was times when I had to just leave the office because there were problems in a 360-degree circle around me. I'd turn around, somebody'd have a question, this suspect, that suspect, okay, we got this problem with the DA's office, we got this problem with the arson investigators. There was times I just had to leave. I didn't even know what it was. I thought, that's Vietnam veteran stuff there. And I kind of read up on the symptoms, and my therapist kind of showed me, and I go, ooh, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. And I've had, some people say, well, why are you doing all of this? And I go, okay, fair question. There's always my hope that by keeping it out in the public eye, it'll jog somebody's memory. And hope springs eternal. Everything we did, just the power of keeping it out there in the public's mind. Underneath my homicide windbreaker is a green and white shirt, hideous green and white shirt. I think I just bought it that day. And that's the only time I've ever wore it. And I told the families the next day that when they saw me in that shirt again, then they'll know the case is solved. Still in my closet in a clothes bag.